Hello, am I audible? Am I audible? Can anyone tell me? I cannot see your names right now. Please comment someone if you can tell me if I'm audible or not. Good afternoon, everyone. Please comment if I'm audible. I think there's something wrong in it. Once again, uh, hello. Hello, everyone. Okay, now so we are live. Um, Hello. So we'll start with the second week recap today. And we start with the second week recap. It is like a little short recap that what you have learned in second week. So this would be, I will share my screen first. And those who are not here, and please share this link to join the class. Okay. And you can all see it. Okay, so we'll start with the second week. Today, in this class, we already covered about the third week, advanced review of sources and literature review, analysis, paraphrasing, synthesis, gap identification, and I welcome you all. And I'm so happy you all have joined my class today only, and you trusted me. And today we are focusing, we are discussing in detail like literature review, analysis, paraphrasing, synthesis, gap identification, all the things from the gap, all the things from week three. Okay, so I'll start uh, with a little quick recap from the week two. And if you guys have any questions about the week two, and first of all, I want you to all congratulate that it was you all have submitted amazing assignments, and I'm so happy to see all the improvement in assignments. And I've checked it thoroughly. You all have written so good. Okay, so congratulations to all of you. So week to recap, what we accomplished last week. So we learned about the source selection, basic evaluation, research skills, citation basics. So these are the things that we have covered in last week, and you can see that these. These are the source hierarchy. You can uh, keep this thing in your mind: peer reviewed journal articles, academic books and book chapters, conference proceedings, government and institutional reports, reputable news sources. So these are the things we covered in second week. And if you have any questions regarding second week, you can write it down here. I'll answer everything and I'll try to answer in this class. Okay. So, first we'll start with I'll welcome you all in third week, advanced reviews of sources. So, what would be the objective of this class, and what is the objective of the third week? So, by the end of this unit, you will be able to understand, analyze, and critically evaluate academic sources of equality, academic source of quality, relevance, and credibility. Apply paraphrasing techniques to avoid plagiarism while maintaining meaning. And synthesize information from multiple sources to create cohesive argument. And locate gaps in existing literature and identify research opportunities. So I am seeing only seven, or there's only three right now. So I'm waiting for you to join this. Then I'll start the second unit. So let me check if we're here. Um, okay, there are only three students. Okay, four. Just say your name, then I can start it. Uh, Only four students are here, so I'll wait for those who want to join, and we can continue with them. Okay, so let's see. Please share this link to the people so they can join this class and they can have the benefits. Okay, so here I can see only four people. So if you want me to continue this and not, let me just see. Okay. Okay. So I'll not wait for anymore. I'll teach for four of you. Okay. So in this class, what we are going to cover is analyze and critically evaluate, apply paraphrasing and techniques, synthesize information, and locate gaps. So we are going to do advanced review of sources. So what we will cover this week? This week we are going to cover literature review fundamentals, source analysis methods, paraphrasing techniques, informational synthesis, gap identification, and assignment guidance. So I'm going to cover all six topics in this class, so your week can go smoothly, like you don't have any questions regarding this. And apart from this, regardless you have questions uh, about this, so you can still ask. Okay, so understanding purpose and structure, CRAAP test and SHIFT method, ethical integration of sources, and connecting ideas from multiple sources, finding research opportunities, sources, summarize and synthesis. We're going to cover this in this class. And understanding literature review. Literature review is a systematic examination of existing research on a particular topic. It involves collecting and analyzing relevant sources, identifying pattern, themes, and relationships, evaluating the quality and credibility of research, synthesizing information to build knowledge, identifying gaps for future research. So these are the things you can understand what is literature review. Literature review is a systematic examination of existing research. Like we are examining that research which is already existing. Okay, so this is like on a particular topic. So that's how we do literature review, and what this is what we call literature review. So two key process in literature review is critical appraisal and evidence synthesis. And these are the two key processes that we do in literature review. What is the purpose of critical appraisal is evaluate quality, relevance, and validity of individual studies. And what we focus on critical appraisal is methodology, design, data analysis, results, and conclusions. We evaluate, we focus on these things like what are the methodology in this literature review, and what is the design, what kind of data here, and what are the results and the conclusions. So, and what is the goal of this is identify high quality evidence for informed decision making. This is the critical appraisal that we think that if we want to identify high quality evidence for informed decision making, then we can choose this critical appraisal. Okay, next is evidence synthesis. What is the purpose of evidence synthesis? You can see combine findings from multiple sources to generate new knowledge, patterns, trends, inconsistencies, and gaps. When we are focusing on evidence synthesis, we are we are focusing on patterns, trends, inconsistencies, and gaps. So, and what would be the goal for applying this evidence synthesis in our research? It would be provide comprehensive summary and identify future research priorities. This should be the goal if you're doing uh, evidence synthesis. Okay, so next is next example of literature review processes. You can see the topic here: effects of social media on students academic performance. So you can see here the example of literature review process here: collect sources, find 20 peer reviewed article on the topic, and analyze each, evaluate methodology, sample size, and findings, identify patterns. Most studies show negative correlation between excessive social media use and grades. Find gaps, limited studies on positive educational uses of social media. Synthesize it, create comprehensive overview connecting all findings. So these are the topics that we need to consider in our mind when we are doing literature review. So if you're clear and okay, so if you have any doubt, and if you want to ask any question between these uh, literature review process, I can answer it right now. And I'm not able to see your comments here. So if you can give me 1 minute, like because there's a thing that I cannot show your, cannot see your messages here. Okay. Okay. So it's fine. You can text me on UOP portal, and you can email me, and you can always reach out to me. So these are the literature review processes and why we do it. So next is analyzing academic sources. So why source analysis matters? Not all sources are created equally. Effective sources analysis helps you. So distinguish reliable from unreliable information, build credible arguments, avoid spreading misinformation, demonstrate academic integrity. So, why source analysis matter? That while we're writing, while we are doing literature review, why does it matter? Like why we are doing source analysis? So, why it is important? Because not all sources are created equally, and it if it has a different effective source analysis helps you in the literature review, and it also like distinguish between reliable from, it separates between reliable from unreliable sources, unreliable information, build credible arguments, avoid spreading misinformation, demonstrate academic integrity. That's why we do, and that's why this analysis matters. And key factors to evaluate. What are the key factors to evaluate? These are the key factors like authority, accuracy, currency, relevance, and purpose. These are the key factors of evaluation. What to look for, like why, what are the factor that authority play in literature review is author credential, institutional affiliation, and what question we should look for, who wrote this, what are their qualification. These type of questions, and these are the things that we can keep in our mind and see that the we can always ask if you're looking for a source, and we can always ask like who wrote this, what are their qualification, is this authentic or not. And next is accuracy. In accuracy we always see factual correctness, supportive evidence, and we should always ask these questions: is the information correct, is it supported by evidence. So these things really helps when you're trying to look authentic sources, and these can help you with your literature review. Next is currency, public update, publication date, recent updates. And the question we always ask when we're looking for accuracy or current, like currency, when was this published? Then, if there is any specific date mentioned on that source, you can easily rely on that source. Like if it is not mentioned, like it is not clear, you should not rely on that source. And it is still relevant, like when it was published, and and what is its authentication, is it still relevant or not. Next we see relevance, connection to your research question. Always try to see what you're doing in your research, and always ask that question, it is relevant to your question, it is relevant to your research or not. So does this address my research needs? When we are like if we're writing on women empowerment and you're looking for sources, then you should always go that, is it relevant for my resource, like it is relevant to my research needs, and I am I just doing it for my teacher or for anyone, is it is not beneficial for me. So always go for it. And purpose, intended audience, potential bias. So, why was this created? Who is the target audience? When we are writing something and we are saying something like, I'm taking this class, I always know, I know that you all are my students, and you all are my target audience. So, what would be my purpose of this class? That I should have entire like thorough knowledge with this like week third, and we can thoroughly discuss it. You can ask all the questions, all the possible questions that you have uh, from the week three. So these are the, you should always ask yourself while you are looking for the sources. Got it? Okay. So, what are the red flags to watch for while you are looking for the sources? No author credential listed, extremely biased language, no citations or references, published by unknown or questionable sources, information contradicts multiple reliable sources. So these are the questions, these are the red flags you always check. Like if there's no author mention and co-author mention in an article or the source that you're looking for, always go for no. No, it is not for me. It is not true data. And extremely biased language. When you're writing on a topic, you always check like if it is beneficial for my audience? That's the main question. And next is, you should also ask, it is not hurting anyone. Like if you're supporting one idea, you're not saying negative things about the other another one. So these are the things that it will make you good, it will make your writing good, like it will have no problems, and you can easily and you can correct your writing and correct your literature review. So, and next is no citation or references. If there is no citations and references of this publication, then you should also check and ask questions. Is it a good source for my writing? It is a good source for my literature review? Then no, it is not. It must have some citations and references. If someone have wrote this and published by unknown or questionable sources. When we write something and when we are reviewing something, we always keep this thing in your mind that you always have a name. It doesn't have to be, anonymous sources, and you should have this reference link in your writing. And information contradicts multiple reliable sources. And if you're writing on some topic like women empowerment, and you're still saying such things which are not supporting women, and you're not talking about equality, and you're not talking about their rights, and you're just putting your thoughts inside it, and so it is not related to the topic, right? So next is the CRAAP test of source evaluation, that we have covered this. This topic we have already covered in last week, but still we have this like advanced kind of knowledge in this week. So we have to cover and we have to understand this thoroughly. So the CRAAP test is a systematic method for evaluating sources. Each letter represent a uh, criteria, you have to fulfill this criteria for the source evaluation. Currency, when was it published? You must have a date when it was published, when it came into the like context, what was its real date. So when was it published? So what we see in this CRAAP test, when we do in writing and when we are looking for the literature review, we always check when what are the publication date. Next is last updated, relevance to topic, links still working, and relevance, does it meet your needs? Always, I'm repeating it again and again. That's the only reason that I'm doing it, because I want you to all understand this, that if you're writing and if you're collecting your sources, it should have currency. It means that it has a specific date, it has a relevancy, like does it meet your needs? It has authority. Who wrote this? Who are the authors of this? Like main author, co-authors, and you have this. Always check it. Accuracy, is it reliable? Can I trust it? Or is it you find something fishy in it? Then don't go for it. So what we see in relevance relates to research questions, appropriate audience level, comprehensive coverage, better sources available. Always ask if you are learning from one university, you're always looking for good, like best. So uh, like any example, you can take any example. If you're choosing clothes for yourself, you're choosing food for yourself, you're choosing any material for yourself, you always go for best, and the best and affordable, right? So when we're writing it, so always ask, can I find better sources, or the better sources are available or not? So these are the questions that you should also ask. And who wrote this? Author credentials, institutional affiliations, contact information, publisher reputation. Check all these things. Accuracy, is it reliable? Supporting evidence, citations provided, fact checked, grammar and spellings. Next is purpose. Why was it created? Informed, persuade, share, sell, target audience, potential bias, and hidden agenda. So this is your duty to find hidden agenda, because everything have multiple meaning, and you cannot go only for one meaning, right? So next is, this is the example of CRAAP test. You can see and in which situation and what the kind of situation you can see, how you can take CRAAP test. Uh, First is, the source name is Climate Change Effects on Agriculture by Dr. Sarah Johnson, published in Environmental Science Journal 2023. So currency means date when it was published. It was published on 2023, very recent. Like we can say it was recently published and we can easily rely on it. Next is relevance. Directly address my research on climate impact. So if it is trustworthy, so it is related to the topic. It is not distracted to the topic. So it has relevancy, that it is in this topic. He was talking about climate impacts. Authority, PhD in environmental science, university professor. So this is the designation of that person, that it was, it has he has a PhD in environmental science, and he is also a university professor. Accuracy is 50 plus citation, which is really good. You can easily rely on it. That means that people are approaching him, people are relying on him. So 50 plus citations, peer reviewed journal. Okay. Next is purpose, academic research and objective tone. So, what was his purpose of this research? It was academic. It was for the academic research and for the objective tone. Result: this source passes the CRAAP test and is suitable for academic use. Like all, it is really easy. If you're looking for a source, you all have to check that you all have to take this CRAAP test. Okay. Next is the shift. Okay, sorry. The SIFT method for digital information. The SIFT method is particularly useful for evaluating online sources and digital content. Like we all know that this era is digital era. We are not going to libraries for finding sources, right? We're looking online and we are looking digital. We are looking our sources on digital platforms. So that we can check this, we can apply this SIFT method for digital information. Stop, pause before reading or sharing. So don't immediately react, consider your purpose, ask, do I know the source? Check your emotional purpose, check your emotional response. Basically, what we are reading online and what if we are looking online and on digital platform, we easily believe these things, we easily go for it, like people are believing in it and we people are reacting on it. But then you need to stop, you need to check, you don't have to react like instantly. And you also check your purpose, what is your purpose of this research, how you can take it. And also ask yourself, do I know this resource? Do I know these sources? And check your emotional instant response. Like I'm taking your classes, I'm trying to do this initiative. So what you're feeling, what you're getting from this class, this is your initiate emotional response. And listen to yourself, that is it helpful, or I know better than this. And go for it, like go for your immediate instincts. You cannot lie yourself. So if it is useful, you'll stay here, you'll listen to me, you'll find it useful, and you will share it also, right? But if you're not getting any information, new information, not you're not having full understanding about unit 3, you'll not rely on me, right? you'll just go for it like ma'am is teaching only what is already written in learning guidance. No, you can ask questions here. You can ask questions on UOP portal also. I'm doing it for you, and it is the only intention I have here. So next is investigate the sources. Learn about who created it, author credentials, publication history, expertise in the field, institutional affiliation. If you're believing something, you should investigate these sources first, right? So find trusted coverage, look for other reliable sources, search for the claim, check multiple sources, look for expert consensus, find original reporting. If see your reaction first, then find and investigate the sources of this so of this method, and then also try to find trusted coverage, that what are the other things related to that I can trust on this source, right? Next is trace claim back, like find the original context, follow citations, find original research, check for context stripping, verify quotes and data. So these are the things you can check, like stop, investigate, find, and trace. Always remember, stop, investigate, find, and trace. That's it. I know it is not that's it, but yeah, I think if you'll follow these things, it will be beneficial for you. And if you'll do it, if you'll keep this behavior in your every source in every literature review, you can have this. You can build this habit in your behavior while you're writing, while you're looking for the sources, right? Next is SIFT method in action scenarios. You find an article claiming new study shows coffee cures cancer. So this is the topic that you find, that a new study shows coffee cures cancer. So you need to stop first. Like, is it weird? Like, it will it not solve everything if coffee cures cancer? This sounds too good to be true. Let me investigate. You need to calm yourself down and see what it's trying to say. Investigate who wrote this. Is it a health website, news outlet, or a blog? Just check if it is who wrote this. Is it a random post, or is it written by some anonymous people, some anonymous person who believes in such thinking, or does it have any proper data or any findings and outcomes? So find coverage. What do medical journals and health organizations say about coffee and cancer? So this is your own research. It is not about the article. This is your own research, that how you're going to investigate and how you're going to collect your data. So trace, what are the actual study and what did it really conclude? So if you're writing, you're reading online and you're watching video, so you instantly believe that as like this person is expert in it. But do you always ask this question to yourself? Like, can I believe this? What was the actual study? What did it really conclude? What scientists say about it? So these are the thing. I mean, scientists as in authors, and in this case, we are talking about medical journals. So that's why I use like not scientists, like doctors. So result, often you will find the original study was much more limited in scope than the sensational headlights suggest. So you will see that original study was much more limited in scope than the sensational headline suggests. Today in internet era, everything is headline, so highlights, and everything is going viral. So we always thought that these things are true. No, these things are not. They all are doing it for grabbing attention. online and earning money, and making people fool about it. But just go and do your own research and be aware about the fact that you can do it. If you're watching video online and trusting on it, then you can easily research about it. Is it reliable? I should watch it more or not? This is just an example I'm giving you here. You can also do it with your writing. What are you can if you're finding your sources, you can also apply. You can build the same attitude about it. Mastering paragraph techniques. So we have our next topic is mastering paraphrasing techniques. Sorry, mastering paraphrasing techniques. What is paraphrasing? Paraphrasing is restating someone else's idea in your own words while maintaining the original meaning it's essential for. So what is paraphrasing? Like saying my anything in your language. So this is paraphrasing. Avoiding plagiarism, demonstrating understanding, integrating sources smoothly, maintaining your writing voices. So, paraphrasing is essential for avoiding plagiarism. Like if you're just copying and pasting, you'll have plagiarism in it. You cannot just copy and paste. You'll have problem with it. You'll not get grades. You'll not learn anything basically. And demonstrating understanding. Paraphrasing helps you to demonstrate understanding. Like, what do you understand with this paragraph or these lines? And also integrate sources smoothly. You can just blend your thought, blend your writing, and just paraphrasing it. You can easily integrate sources smoothly and maintaining your writing voice. If we're looking on internet something in different language and we are writing it that same paragraph in our own language, we are maintaining our own writing voice. You know how you write, you know how you react on things, so you can easily paraphrase. So what are the strategies of paraphrasing? These four are the strategies of the paraphrasing. Change sentence structure, use synonyms, change voice, combine or split ideas. Change sentence structure, like rearrange the order of idea and use different grammatical patterns. Like you are changing that sentence structures, change your sentence structure. That means that you're paraphrasing it. Next is you're using different meaning of that word, like you're using synonyms in that sentence and you're not just copying and pasting it. And change voices, convert active to passive voice or vice versa. You can do it. If you're paraphrasing it, you should do it. Like it will make your writing effective. And combine or split ideas, merge sentences or break complex ideas into simpler ones. So these are the four strategies you can follow in paraphrasing. Change sentence structure, use synonyms, change voice, combine or split ideas. Next, paraphrasing examples. You can see I've given you that example. Uh, Social media platforms have fundamentally transformed the way young people communicate, creating new opportunities for connection while simultaneously raising concerns about privacy and mental health. This is the original phrase you can see. Now, I've given two examples like poor paraphrase and good paraphrase. Poor social media platforms have basically changed how young people communicate, making new opportunities for connection, but also raising concerns about privacy and mental health. This is basically the same. You have used like some you in this line you can see there's some changes, not completely changed or not in original language. So good paraphrase. The rise of social networking site has revolutionized, you can see that, young communication patterns, offering enhanced connectivity benefits alongside emerging challenges related to personal data protection and psychological well being. So, this is the good paraphrase, and the here all the synonyms and the active and passive voices used, and the change of the sentence structure, and also like adding combine or split ideas. This is the good example of paraphrasing. What we do in common what are the common mistakes that we usually do while we're doing paraphrasing? So these are the common mistakes a person does, like synonym substitutions only, too close to original, missing citations, changing meaning. So basically, when we are just if we're changing synonyms and we are just adding one or two words, this is the these are the common mistakes that we do while we're doing paraphrasing. So just replacing words without changing structure, minor changes that don't constitute true paraphrasing, forgetting to cite the original sources, altering the author's intended message. So these are the common mistakes, and the paraphrasing process. Read and understand the paragraph that you are going to paraphrase. First, understand it properly. Fully comprehend the original text. Only strategy if you can paraphrase it. Put away the sources. Don't look at it while writing. Write with your understanding, not copying that original source. Write in your voice. Express the idea as you would explain it. And it doesn't matter if it is right or wrong, it matters when you're writing in your own language. So, if you're learning something and you have intent to learn something, first you need to say yourself that I will try myself first. Then I will try to take help from some side, from sources. But first, if you want to learn something, then be honest with yourself. Just not just copying something and just submitting it is not your idea. If you want to learn, then first accept it that you will write it on your own language. It doesn't matter if it is grammatically wrong, if it is not a well structured sentence, if it is not a good syntax. It doesn't matter. You're learning here and you're allowed to make mistakes. But if you think that you can learn only if you're not making any mistakes and just copying and pasting, no, it is not the right way of learning. Right way of learning is making mistakes. It's the only way. Okay. uh Moving forward, next is synthesizing information from multiple sources. So what is synthesis? Synthesis involves combining information from multiple sources to create new understanding. It goes beyond summarizing. It's it goes beyond summarizing to connect ideas across sources, identify patterns and themes, compare and contrast viewpoints, create new insights. So you can see here, synthesis involves combining information from multiple sources to create new understanding. Like you have combined all the multiple sources together and you are creating one new understanding. So this is synthesis. Okay? So it goes beyond summarizing to connect ideas across sources, identify patterns or themes, compare and contrast viewpoints, create new insights. So here type of synthesis is explanatory, argumentative, and review. What is the purpose of explanatory? Is it helps readers understand a topic. An example is combining studies to explain what causes climate changes. So basically, when you are combining your sources and creating one new understanding, it's called synthesis. Okay, and I know it must be like hard to understand. You can ask me. I will see your. I'll try to see your messages because I'm not able to see your messages today. So you can text me or on UOP. I'll answer your questions and I'll share this PPT on UOP, and you can easily download it and help it. And I'll share the link of this video basically. You just watch and see the explanation, because with this PPT you need understanding what's going on, because you already have existing data on your UOP portal learning guide. So I would suggest you not just go through this PPT, just see the whole video that what we are discussing here, what are the questions that people are asking. So next is uh, argumentative, support a thesis or position, using multiple sources to argue for renewable energy. Next is review, summarize current knowledge, literature review on social media facts. So, what are the synthesis strategies? Find connections, organize by themes, compare perspectives, create new meaning. So, find connections. Look for relationship between sources, agreements, disagreements, or complementary information. So, in say, like if we are collecting information and we are trying to create new understanding, we need to see these strategies that we can follow. These like finding connection, organized by themes, like group sources by topic or concept rather than discussing each source separately. Like you are just combining this, you are summarizing it, you are concluding it, you're telling your understanding behind the source. Compare perspectives, analyze different viewpoints, and explain why they might different. You compare all these sources, all the sources that you have collected, and you can create the comparison between them. You can analyze your viewpoint and explain why they might differ. You can do that and create new meaning, draw conclusions that emerge from combining multiple sources, combining all the sources and creating new understanding. And you can also draw your own conclusion from that multiple sources. You can draw your own conclusion combining all the multiple sources. So this would be your, like um, you are like master of your own writing. So choose whatever you want to choose. And please, if you're working on single, you can adapt this CRAAP uh, CRAAP formula. And if you're looking on online, you can adapt this SIFT method. And while you are combining multiple sources, you uh, this we call synthesis strategies, right? So you can take this example, synthesis example, remote work productivity. Remote shows 40% increase in productivity. Study shows, sorry, resource one, source A, study shows 40% increase in productivity with remote work. This is source one, and we are combining it together. This is source two, research indicates challenges with team collaboration. Source C, survey reveals improved work life balance satisfaction. So here we are talking about work that study shows 40% increase in productivity. Research indicates challenge with team collaboration. We're talking about this environment. Survey reveals improved work-life balance satisfaction. And poor synthesis. Source A says productivity increases. Source B discusses collaboration problems. Source C mentions work life balance. So, this is not how we done this. uh, how we do this synthesis. Good synthesis is while remote work demonstrates clear productivity gains, these benefits must be weighed against collaboration challenges. However, the improved work life satisfaction reported by workers suggests that hybrid models might optimize both productivity and team dynamics. So, these are the poor and good synthesis example, right? Next is synthesis metrics tool. Create a table with sources as columns and themes as rows. Fill in each cell with relevant information. Make pattern easier to identify. So these are the metrics tool you can do. You can use in your while you're creating a table and you are collecting your information, collecting your sources. You can use this, create a table with sources as columns and themes as rows. Fill in each cell with relevant information, making patterns easier to identify. Theme 1 is productivity, source A 40%, theme B is variable. We can just make it in rows and columns, so it will be really beneficial for you. You can easily collect all the information together and then write it down about it. Next is identifying research gaps. What is a research gap? A research gap is an area where information is missing or insufficient in the current literature. Identifying gaps is crucial for advancing knowledge in your field, justifying new research, contributing original insights, guiding future studies. So, what is a research gap? I mean, you all should know about it. Research gap is an area where information is missing or insufficient. You are reading an article and you suddenly notice that some information is missing here and it is not sufficient. So you can easily identify these things. We call it research gap. So identifying gaps is crucial for advancing knowledge in your field. You must have advanced knowledge in your field. You can easily identify a research gap, justifying new research, contributing original insights, guiding future studies. It will help you in these four things, 4 points. You can easily identify research gaps. Type of research gaps is empirical gaps, theoretical gaps, methodological gaps. Obviously, you're using so many sources in your research. You're taking links, you're taking references, and also you're using so many methods in your research. So you can find it in any these gaps you can find in research sources and in the main article. And the lack of information, like empirical gaps is lack of sufficient data studies, that I was discussing. That empirical gap is when data is not sufficient and there's something missing. Understanding understudied populations, limited sample sizes, need for replications. Like you don't have proper data and studies and you have prepared this report, that what we call it research gap, and it is type of research gap is empirical gap. Next is theoretical gap is missing conceptual framework, unexplained phenomena, conflicting theories, new frameworks needed. So if you're writing something and you're writing about environment, so and you're not writing your facts correctly and you don't have proper knowledge, that why you're saying such things, that like you can take an example. If I'm say like today's weather is really great, why I'm saying it, why that, because I'm feeling it, or do I have actual, do I have an actual data about it? So in research you must have proper data, you must have explanations and the theories and the frameworks. And if it is not, we call it theoretical gaps. And next is methodological gaps, limitations in research approaches, inadequate methods, need for new tools, method limitations. So, what method we are applying in our research, and it is not correct. Like, if I'm collecting data, like let's suppose I'm collecting data of population, and I'm collecting it online, I'm collecting from digital sources. So this is not the right way, this is not the right method to collect data of population. You can check the facts online, you can check the facts that if the government have as passes actual facts of population. But if you're going, you can check government records. It is also a right way to check methodology if you're collecting about population. But if you're collecting data from that particular area, you should know how you should go there and check if it is true or not, if that data is true or not, right? You can taking names there, and you're interacting with them, you're writing their family members, how you're writing their countings, right? Next is how to identify gaps. So now we know the problem and we should know the solution of it. Look for explicit statements. Author often states future research should, or this study was limited by. So when we are seeing these explicit statements, so we can see that these are the gaps that we can see here, empirical gaps and theoretical gaps. Notice contradictions. When sources disagree, there is an opportunity to resolve the conflicts. Check citations. Recent papers with few citations might indicate emerging areas. Consider context, different populations, time periods, or setting not yet studied. Ask what missing. What questions remain unanswered after reviewing the literature? Actually, if we're doing anything, we always ask our, we always clear about our objectives, and we always go for our requirements, for objectives, for what we are searching for, what we are researching for. But you should know about uh, these criteria of your research, that you're looking all the right things that are required for your research. Okay, that's what we are talking here. Gap identification example, online learning effectiveness. This is the topic I'm taking as an example. Like many studies on K-12 online learning. This is the literature review findings. Some research on university level online courses, limited studies on adult learners 25 plus, most research conducted before 2020. Identified gaps is population gap, limited research on working adults in online programs. Temporal gap, needs for post pandemic effectiveness studies. Methodological gap, long term retention studies are rare. So this is the best example that I've mentioned here. You can go it again and watch this video again. And next is writing effective gap statements. What is gap statement? A gap statement is a clear, concise explanation of what's missing in the current literature and how your work will address this. Gap statement, we saw here research gap, and now we are looking for writing effective gap statements. Gap statement is a clear, concise explanation of what's missing in the current literature and how your work will address it. When there is a clear there's a clear example what is missing is gap statements. Components of a strong gap statements is context, establish what is known about the topic. Gap is clearly state what is missing or unknown, significance, why, explain why this gap matters, your contribution, describe how you will address the gap. So this work is for you, how you're identifying your gap and how you're addressing this gap, and how you're fulfilling it. Next is identifying gaps. Has not been studied, is required, needed. The key question is remains. It is important to address. Little is known about. Filling gap is, these are identifying gaps, and these are the example of filling gaps. So therefore this study aims to, in this paper we investigate, the purpose of this study was to, the research addresses, we therefore analyze. So these are the gaps that are not sure, that author is not sure about it, and these are the filling gaps you can easily identify with these initial sentences. Gap statement example, this is gap statement is example is, first example one is climate change research context. Research has extensively documented climate change effects on polar regions and temperate zones. Gap is, however, limited studies have examined impact on tropical urban environments, particularly in developing nations. And how, what is the significance of this? This example gap is critical given that tropical cities houses 40% of the world's population. Okay. And the contribution, therefore, this study contributes, investigates climate adaptation strategies in three major tropical sites. Example 2, educational technology. While numerous studies demonstrate the effectiveness of educational apps for elementary students, research on the impact on high schools students with learning disability remains limited. The gap is significant because this population faces unique challenges that may require specialized technological inventions. Therefore, this study examined how customized educational apps affect learning outcomes for high school students with dyslexia. So, this is the best example I've given here. You can read it again and again and understand context, gaps, significance, and contributions. You can easily identify this. How you can avoid these statements mistakes? Too broad, not much research exists on education. Too narrow, gap that only you would care about. Not justified, failing to explain why the gap matters. Impossible to address. Gap too large for your scope and resource. So these things you should avoid for the gap statement mistakes. Next, the main agenda of this week, assignments. You all are concerned about assignments. Ma'am, how should I submit it? What is the topic of it, and how I can write it? So I'm going to explain it thoroughly. Assignment, week 3 assignment, source analysis and synthesis. This is your week 3 assignment. Assignment overview is using the 5 credible source from your previous unit. You will create a comprehensive analysis that demonstrate your mastery of literature review skills. So far I can easily say that the topics that we have discussed it here is your literature review, source analysis, CRAAP test, SIFT method, paraphrasing, synthesis, research gaps, gap statements, and now we are discussing assignments. Assignment. Assignment components part 1 is source summary. Source summaries, what to do? Create individual summaries for each of your 5 sources. Create individual summaries for each of your 5 sources. And the topic is source analysis and Synthesis. So include both direct quotes and paraphrases. These are the requirement of this part 1. Include both direct quotes and paraphrases. Demonstrate critical analysis, not just description. Show how each sources relates to your topic. Proper APA citation for all information. Part 2, synthesis paragraphs. What to do? Write 1 2 paragraphs connecting information across sources. We have discussed thoroughly about the synthesis, and I've told you about that synthesis is multiple collecting information from multiple sources and giving totally different uh, concluding totally different. Like you are collecting information and you are concluding differently. So this is synthesis. And what are the requirements to do it? Identify patterns, themes, or relationships. Compare and contrast different perspectives. Create new insights from the combinations. Use transition words to show connections. I've explained it thoroughly. You can go and watch this video again and again if you have any doubt. You can take in screenshot. You can uh, give me your questions so I can solve it for you. Next is part 3 is gap identification. What to do? Identify gaps in the literature and explain your planned contribution. What are the requirement of this? Part 3 of gap identification is clearly state what's missing in current research, explain why this gap is significant, describe how you plan to address it. If no gaps exist, explain your planned innovation. The your assignments divided in 3 parts and I have addressed it. Now, technical requirements. What are the technical requirements of your assignments? Length should be 500 to 750 words, excluding references and titles. Formats double spaced, Time New Roman, 12 pt font. Style is APA format for citations and references. Sources, use your 5 credible sources from the previous unit. Quality, high quality, credible, relevant sources. And assignment criteria. Source analysis, these are the criteria of your assignment. Source analysis, paraphrasing, synthesis, gap identification. These all criteria we have discussed thoroughly, so you can easily do it. You can easily complete this assignment, and I'm looking forward for this for you to complete this assignment because uh, after last week class you all have done fabulous job, and I was so impressed that you all are listening and you're understanding what I'm trying to say. And source analysis demonstrate deep critical thinking and evaluation, good for understanding and analysis, mostly descriptive and limited analysis. Paraphrasing is maintains meaning, avoiding plagiarism. Good paraphrasing with minor issues. Poor paraphrasing or too close to original. These are the things that you need to improve. Synthesis create new insights by connecting multiple sources. Uh, it is good to make connections between sources, and also you need to improve it with limited synthesis, mostly separate discussions. Gap identification is clearly identifies significance and addressable gaps. It is good to identify relevant gaps with good justification, and where you need to improve it and view what area you should avoid it is vague or poorly justified gap identifications. So I'm giving you here the success tip to complete your assignment is start early, give yourself time to analyze and synthesize thoroughly. No, try not to finish at the last hour. Just take your time, go thoroughly, read it, and give yourself time to understand it. Use a matrix, create a table to track themes across sources. Think critically, don't just describe what sources say, analyze their contributions also. Look for relationship between sources, not just individual summaries. Identify concrete addressable gaps rather than vague statements. Always identify concrete and addressable gaps, not go for which is not clearly explained or clearly written there and there's no sources mentioned. And summary and moving forward, here we have learned in this session is source evaluation. What we have learned about is that we can use CRAAP test and SIFT method to assess credibility. These two tests we can use to test credibility. Look beyond surface content to evaluate methodology and biasness. Change structure and vocabulary while maintaining meaning. Connect ideas across sources to create new understanding, spot opportunities for original contribution to knowledge, and integrate sources ethically and effectively. So, we have covered source evaluation, critical analysis, effective paraphrasing, informational synthesis, gap identification, academic writings. Okay. Next is this week action items complete required readings. Review all assigned materials in the learning guides. You need to read it carefully. Work on your assignment. Apply CRAAP and SIFT test on your sources. Practice mm, paraphrasing. Identify synthesis opportunities. Take self quiz. Test your understanding of concept. Doesn't count towards grade. So test yourself first. Complete graded quiz. Demonstrate mastery of unit learning objectives. That's how it shows that how much you have understanding of this unit 3, right? The skills you have developed this week from the foundation for advanced academic writing. In upcoming units, you will build on these abilities to construct compelling argument using synthesized evidence, develop original research proposals, write comprehensive literature reviews, contribute meaningfully to academic discourse. And you can, these are some tips to you can apply to get success from unit 3, how you can just complete your assignments. So practice regularly, seek feedback, try to connect with your peer, try to connect with your classmates, use library resources, join study groups, keep learning. So apply these techniques to all your readings. Use office hours to discuss your analysis approaches. Contact this website for research help. Discuss sources evaluation with classmates. These skills improve with consistent practice. These skills can improve with consistent practice. And need help, you can always contact me, your instructor, in office hours, and we can also discuss in discussion forums. You can go for the library support in this website for research assistance. Learning resource centers is additional tutoring and supports. Technical issues, always contact your university IT support for the platform problems. And also remember, academic success comes from consistent practice and critical thinking. You have the tool. Now apply them with confidence. I'm sure you all have understood about the unit 3, about the week 3. And if you have any problem and if you have any questions regarding unit 3, you can you always try to reach me. You always, I'm available on UOP, and you can we can talk here. You can write down your questions, and I can you can watch this video later and just try to share this and this video as much as you can, because I want this you to share this for those people who literally and who genuinely need all the education they should have. Okay, because I'm sure that you all have resources, but there are some things that you are not able to join, like face to face classes. So I've started this initiative to reconnect with you and listen to your problems and under- building understanding between us. And I can take more classes if you want on unit 3. Just you can message me on UOP portal. So these are the questions that I have prepared on the basis of this week. So uh, those who are not in this class, and still it is mandatory for them to answer these questions. So I'm going to give you grade on this basis, because this class is also important, and connecting with me and attending this class is uh, I would say is beneficial and mandatory for all of you. So I have prepared this these questions. Question 1: what does the R in CRAAP stand for, and why is it important for academic research? Next is why identify what's wrong with this paraphrase. Identify yourself and tell me which of the following is an example of an empirical research gap. You can build your understanding and give answer. In the SIFT method, what should you do first when encountering a new source? What you should do? I've mentioned 4 steps you can follow while you're doing a SIFT method. So, question 5: write a one sentence synthesis combining these two findings. Source 1: student prefer online learning for flexibility. Write a one sentence synthesis combining these two findings. Source A is students prefer online learning for flexibility. Teachers report lower engagement in online classes. And I have also mentioned the answers of these questions here, but you're not allowed to look these answers. First, practice these questions on your own and ask yourself if you know the answer of these questions. And if not, try to read try to read it again and again, and that's how you can build the understanding. Okay, so this is the third week that we have completed today, and want you to all understand this, that if someone is not able to join this class, please share this link with them. And also try to, because I'm not going to share this PPT on your chat, but I will attach the link of this PPT in my video. So you just watch this video again, and you can uh, download it from there, because it is important for you only that you learn from this session and you have the better understanding of week 3. Okay, so I will request you again, please try to share this video, and I have the best time teaching you guys this week also. So I'll finish this and I'll see you next week on Saturday. So thank you so much for joining me, and I am so happy I have started this and I have got your responses, and it is so positive. I'm truly, you know, truly encouraged that you all are giving me good um replies, and you're giving me best reviews and feedback about this session, about these classes that we have started. So I'm so happy that I'm doing something right for my students. So even though if you're not happy and if you have any feedback for my classes, you are free to give it. I'm always open for feedback, even if they are constructive. Okay, so free, you're all free to tell me what you feel about this class and what kind of improvements you need while we are having this class. So I thank you so much. I thank you all for joining me. So I'll see you next week. I hope you have good day, and thank you. Happy learning. Once again.